Lukewarm Reviews, I am talking about the Avengers Infinity War today. I know it's been a little while since I've done movie reviews that anyone has watched. A lot of stuff I've been seeing lately has been really weird indie stuff because a lot of the films that are coming out in theaters at this time of year I'm just not super interested in. But I did want to see Infinity War. I've expressed on this channel before how I'm not nuts about superhero movies, but I do think that what Marvel is doing is interesting and compelling and very new. So I wanted to go see this. I know I'm late, but here's my 2 cents. Just before we get started, I do have some notes on my computer here. I usually try and do my videos with no edits and no notes just because that's like, I don't know, my style, I guess. But there's a lot of stuff I wanted to say about this movie that I want to make sure I don't forget. And also, since it's been a little while, just a quick refresher. The way that I talk about movies on this channel is going to be with 4 main criteria. In order, it's how is the experience watching the film? Is it original? How is the acting? And then how is the cinematography, design, music, the kind of aesthetics of the film? So let's get into it. I have a lot of good stuff and a lot of bad stuff to say about this movie, but we'll start with the good. The best thing about the experience with this film, and the thing that Marvel is best at, is just hype. This movie's really exciting, and it's a unique thing because of all the different franchises we're used to seeing on their own coming together. It's really cool to see, like, oh my god, Black Panther and Captain America are fighting side by side, and look, fucking Thor is hanging out with the Guardians of the Galaxy, and like, it's a really cool thing to see, and it gets you really excited. And I wanted to make sure I put that out there right from the very beginning because I think that's valid. That's a really valid praise to have for a film, and I'm not taking away from that. Especially, I would imagine, for people who are bigger fans of comics than me. I'm not a big comic book reader, but for those people especially, I totally understand like why this is exciting to watch. It's also really funny. Marvel's good at kind of the banter, and so it's a good experience. It's fun to watch. It's clever and witty and stuff, and also nothing exactly like this has ever been done in film ever. So that's cool to see all these different people coming into one film. Having said that, I think that it's important to address that formally this film is not very good. Let me explain what I mean. The experience is good for the reasons that I just mentioned, but at the same time, the whole time I was watching it, I was just like, the pacing is all over the place. It's just so hectic and so crazy, and there's time jumps everywhere that I'm sure we could go back and forth a million times justifying, but there's time jumps. And it also just feels, it has a focus that I didn't appreciate. Because, let's be honest, this is a Thanos movie. This is not an Avengers movie. So in the broader context, not even just as a film itself, but in the broader context of the franchise, I thought it was problematic as well. Because what they've done is spent all of this time in all of these separate movies making us care about these characters. And then this is the one I feel like that everyone was excited about because everyone knew it as like the one where finally everyone's coming together. And I think to a certain degree, this film didn't live up to that for me because the protagonist is Thanos. I will argue with anybody on that because it's Thanos' story. You know what I mean? And so I thought that was a skewed point of view that was not very effective for me because I don't know Thanos. I don't really give a shit about Thanos. And so instead of watching all of these characters that I really care about join together and fight against evil, I saw this evil character that I don't really care about kill off all the characters that I do care about in a very unceremonious way. And I didn't think it was effective, and I didn't think it was earned. Particularly like the Guardians of the Galaxy. That's my favorite Marvel franchise, bar none. I think those movies are great. and I think they're way better than any of the others. And for Gamora to die in this way, it felt very cheap. It did not feel earned at all to me. For Gamora to die in a non-Guardians of the Galaxy film, just as like a throwaway, it really made me angry. And then the same thing, obviously, at the end when everybody dies or whatever, even though they're not fucking actually dead. It just made me mad. Because I think they deserve better. Do you know what I'm trying to say? And then also, they do this thing at the end, obviously, where it's an everybody dies movie. That's the move that they made here. And they did it very on purpose. Except that Iron Man, Captain America, Thor, they all survive. Which just felt like cheap to me because, like, sure, Spider-Man and Guardians of the Galaxy and Doctor Strange, all of these people have had their own movies and have been big protagonists, but ultimately Infinity War is called the Avengers Infinity War, so the central characters of the film supposedly are supposed to be Thor, Captain America, Iron Man, and all of them survive. So I was like, really? Okay. If it's gonna be an everybody dies movie, there are better ways to give it weight than by saving the three central protagonists of your film. But even then, this is my main problem with it. I know all of those have been problems, but my main problem is that it doesn't really matter to me because I know they're all not dead. Do you know what I mean? Like, in the moment, did it work? Yes. I was surprised and I was taken aback. I was like, oh, whoa, okay, they're doing this. But the thing about a franchise like this, and this is one of the pitfalls of doing something that in this way that's never been done before, but Spider-Man 2 has already been confirmed. Guardians of the Galaxy 3 has already been confirmed. So we know all of these characters are not gone forever. And so I've seen a lot of people saying like, oh, this movie, like, it blows your mind for the rest of the day. And for me, I had the opposite reaction, where in the moment, it was very powerful. Yes, I totally admit that. I was like, whoa, but then as soon as the movie was over, I was kind of like, oh, okay, well, Infinity War Part 2, or that's the film previously known as Infinity War Part 2, is going to resolve all of it. Also because of the whole Doctor Strange thing where he says, like, I had to do it, there was only one way or whatever. So, all of that is to say, I didn't find it as sad as everybody else did. I didn't find it as heavy as everybody else did because I was just like, oh, that's what they're doing right now, but they're all going to come back. And I had problems with the focus of the film. Moving on. The originality, again, I briefly mentioned this before, is one of the strongest things. Is that this is new, it's a new experience you're never gonna have had before, and especially for people who are big fans of the franchise, I think it's gonna be very powerful for that reason alone. The acting, this is one thing I do wanna just say, like, the acting is great. And it's always that way in the Marvel movies. That's one of the things that they have done best, is create an ensemble that is really, really strong. I can't really think of a weak link. Benedict Cumberbatch is great here. Chris Pratt is great here. Tom Holland is so good. That was the one part that really did get me, like I said before. In the moment, it was powerful to me, especially Spider-Man's death, because Tom Holland's performance was very genuine and earnest. So all of the acting is really good. I can't deny that. And then last thing, cinematography, the music, the design, I don't have much to say. It's good, it's fine. It is not doing anything special for me, and we've seen it before, but it's good. So I'll cut it there. I'll leave it at that. Those are my thoughts on Infinity War. Overall, it's okay. Like I said, first thing, right off the bat, I had fun watching it. But it definitely has problems that are worth addressing. So, those are my thoughts. Tell me what you think. Do you agree? Do you disagree? What did you think of Infinity War? What do you want me to see next? Subscribe, share with your friends. Tell me what you think, guys. I want to hear from you. You're the best. I'll be back with more soon.